guys, welcome back to the Stream.tv's Gotham After Show. Tonight is our final episode. For now, we'll be back in April. But the gentle art of making enemies was a tragic goodbye to our fellow Gothamites for now. I'm Tatiana Hollander with the Flash Podcast, and I'm here with my Batman t-shirted friends, Sabina.
Hey guys, I'm Sabina Ibarra with Legion of Leia and the show. You guys probably just saw me a few minutes ago on the Supergirl After Show, as I guessed did.
And I'm Ryan Buds, host of DC and Marvel Facts and Trivia every Thursday night right here on the Stream TV at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Super excited to talk about this episode, girls.
I am too. I thought it was kind of a masterpiece.
Yeah. It was really good.
Oh my gosh.
Especially of these three of this chunk that we've been all watching together.
Yeah, definitely. Like this
really
back
fun.
half of the season has been pretty strong so far, and I think it was a good culmination.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what would you guys rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd give it like an A-. What do you think about that?
Oh,
Yeah, about an
interesting.
A-. There's certain things that a little bit of a stretch, but yeah.
I was going to give it a 9, but you guys changed the scale on me.
sorry.
So I will also give it an A-.
A 9.
That would be about the same. I think like a 9 or an A-.
Yes.
Do you guys feel? I feel like this show's almost like it's almost hard to get a perfect 10 on this show. With
Yeah.
all the stuff that they have to.
They've
try to,
always
like,
got
get
moving
right.
parts. I
Yeah,
agree,
a lot of
you
moving
know.
parts.
But this season, I think I've said it several times, they finally found their footing, I feel.
Oh, yeah,
So
totally.
it's definitely been the strongest season so far.
Definitely.
Well, let's move right into the big plot of the episode, which was Jerome and the Carnival of Doom, as he makes up an elaborate plan, kind of with Bruce's help, to kill Bruce Wayne finally. So what did you guys think of that?
Oh my gosh, I totally just thought that it echoes, their last rendezvous in the future at a carnival, with Dark Knight Returns, heavy, hinting at that.
Yeah.
That's where they're starting there, and they're going to end up there someday.
I like that full circle idea.
I'm going to piggyback on what Sabina said and use the word echo. I thought it echoed kind of the Killing Joke with kidnapping someone and taking them to a demented carnival, a la Commissioner Gordon or Lieutenant Gordon, I believe, in the Killing Joke graphic novel,
that's
which
right.
is one of everybody's favorites, featuring the Joker. So very, very fun stuff to watch.
Yeah, that was definitely my first thought.
Yeah.
Was the Killing Joke, which is not fun stuff for me. I hate the Killing Joke, but I like the idea of using the carnival because it really echoes what the Joker or what Jerome in this instance stands for. He thinks everything's a performance, and when the lights go down, it shows who you really are.
Of course. Tatiana, what do you think your favorite demented game was that they were playing at the carnival? We had a bunch of different ones to watch.
There were so many. I think it might have been the dunking of the piranha.
Oh my gosh, me too. I totally agree.
You mentioned that the amount of care that would have to go into
just the logistics. We were both like,
piranhas.
logistically, how did they make this happen?
Yeah, because first, he hadn't thought to take Bruce to the
Right.
carnival for that.
Right.
So was this just what all of the maniacs were doing?
That's what they're up to. And you mentioned, you're like, where are they getting power for this thing from with the whole city being
They rerouted the
blackout?
power. Jerome's running to the carnival like, get me piranhas.
Right.
Yeah.
I will kill you if you don't get me piranhas.
During the break, there should be a web series that's just like how the maniacs set this up and what their original plan was. Because I would watch a whole episode about that.
I personally love the whack-a-mole with human heads and
God.
some blood splatter that came from that. I thought that was great.
Yeah, there was so much violence in this sequence and the whole sequence, but I think it wasn't tastefully done, but I feel like it's one of the few instances where the violence really serves to drive a point home.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, especially when he cut that other guy. You thought he was going to cut Bruce, but instead he cut the other guy and uses it to paint the smile on Bruce's face, which was disgusting.
It was pretty nasty.
But it also was Bruce now has someone else's blood on it's on his face, not his hands. But the thing is he can't do anything to save these people, and no one else is doing anything to save them either. I think that was really
right.
Yeah.
This episode was super violent. People have been watching a lot
quite
of Gotham
enjoyed
lately.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. If you're demented, if you're twisted, if you find yourself as somebody who would sign up to be part of the Maniacs, you'd probably love this episode. Right. And just gore central, from faces getting ripped off or punched off to just blood and painting it on people's faces.
Right.
So.
I think there is it's something to be said for the mental health in Gotham. Because Jerome is talking about how when he was a teenager and all he wanted to do was kill people, and that's there's people that go through something like that, you know? And
definitely.
obviously in Gotham there's no way to get help for that.
Yeah.
The best you can do is go to Arkham and then get, tortured by Hugo Strange.
Of course.
So it really is interesting to see how many people in Gotham there are that are easily swayed by that, which is really important for Bruce's storyline and how he's gonna grow or not from this, right? Exactly. What did you guys think about?
Or just his growing in response to everything Jerome and whatever he stands for, and he starts to develop his system, his set rules that we all have, grown to love about his character. And, you have that moment with Alfred near the end where he's like, now you see what limits have been pushed, what you stand for. And that speech made me so emotional. Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, yes, little Bruce, your baby bats.
Yeah, Bruce and Alfred really, like their storyline this episode, it just drove home like what makes Bruce a hero and why he can be the real hero of Gotham.
Yeah, someone in the chat had already escaped the chat because the chat is out of control tonight. Thank you so much for
Thanks, everyone.
commenting in with your comments and watching along and your questions. Thank you so much. It's only showing me so much though. And somebody mentioned earlier, like, my little bat is being born right before my eyes.
Oh, yes.
So shout out to that person that is already off the beginning of the chat.
I think it was Lily, but I'm not sure.
That's right. It was Lily. Well done. That's why you're the host.
But yeah, it really, it just shows you, like, because Bruce is saying, like, no, there are good people in Gotham. And Jerome's like, look around, there's no one. And for a really long time, you're like, there really is no one. No one's doing anything.
Yeah.
But
going
then,
back to that line that Bruce is saying, there is good people, I was like, oh man, it's his line from The Dark Knight. Yes.
Yeah, you really are finally starting to see this season Bruce come into his own as the Batman that we're going to know.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that growth, because when the show started, we were like, oh, it's just on Jim Gordon. Like, what are we going to see of Batman? And, like, this just sets everything in motion, honestly, between him and Jerome and Alfred being like, we're going to work on something in response to the Maniacs and to this thing that's just, like, infesting the city.
Right.
Yeah. I love that Bruce stooped to the level of a villain by saying, like, what? Well, don't you want to do this on like TV or like in public? You don't want to just do it here. So he's using like the mind games of Jerome to then put himself in a place where he can maybe get out of it easier later, and then we get this great episode. So
yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the first times that we really see Bruce intellectually step up to the plate and show that he has what it takes to be, the world's greatest detective.
He's got all those turtlenecks. He's got to be smart sometime. He literally has 1,000 turtlenecks.
Yeah. That's all he has. Yep. His wardrobe is just filled with turtlenecks. But you know what? They're working for him. It's working out for him. So.
It's working out good.
But yeah, we got to see him not just intellectually face off against Jerome, but also physically. Like, and it was believable for once. Like, I wasn't like, oh, there's this little kid like Yoda fighting Darth, whichever the second Darth.
One of the Darths.
Yeah, Count Dooku. There we go. That's what I was like. That's what I envision. Whenever I imagine Batman on Gotham, I'm like, it's going to be like a Yoda fight. It's going to be horrible. But now we saw it, and I really believe that he could take Jerome.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I love that Jerome actually says Bruce Darling, which is a callback to Batman Darling. Echoing the things that are going to happen.
Yeah. Jerome is really like, when he first showed up, I was like, who's this child? Is going to be the Joker? But now it's another situation where it's like, you know what?
We're here for it. Yeah.
It took a few seasons, but now we're at that point.
Yeah, he just had to die and then get electrocuted back to life. And it all works out. But no, Alfred and Bruce's final scene was wonderful. I mean, like, it almost brought tears to my eyes. What did you guys think about the way that
Batman saying "I will not kill"?
Yeah,
and you're
I
just
put that
like
in all
the
caps.
chills.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, he's saying it.
Not kill. Yes.
And then he says it again, and you're just like, that's right. You will not kill.
He's gonna write it 150 times on his notebook.
Like Bart Simpson on the chalkboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Will not kill.
It's gonna cause a fight between him and Selena.
Yeah. Be like, well, I'm gonna kill. Speaking of which, I did miss Selena this episode, as I always do. But that's okay. Gotham needs to just shift a little bit more towards the ladies, because the ladies are not getting all that much time.
We haven't seen Ivy around or anything.
Her name is in the credits every episode, and she's never there, so that's all right.
I had a comment from James Mirror Domains, and he says, "I'm late. Please tell me they didn't kill Jerome again." So
You're in luck.
You're in luck. It's still around, but they did. We mentioned it earlier. Punch his face off.
Literally got his face punched off.
His face gets punched off by Gordon, and that face lands in a puddle, just a face puddle. Classic trope of the face puddle.
It was so disgusting.
It was pretty vile. And when we were talking about violence in this episode, this was definitely kind of like a cringe-worthy moment in the episode where you're like, Staples' face ripped off. Puddle.
I thought it was great.
Samina loved it. Samina
Also,
was
the moment when he
drooling,
was
which was
stapling
weird.
his face back on, oh, shuddering.
Yeah.
And then he stapled Bruce's arm too, and that was somehow even worse.
Yeah.
But I have to say that I liked that Bruce did most of the face punching, and his face was getting like
Just
into,
like shifting
it was
all
just
over the
gross.
place. Yeah.
And then Gordon got to punch the face off, so it's like he got to do something. He got to feel a little bit like the hero. But Bruce had it handled already. So taking a sharp turn, we had a mini plot with the Court of Owls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we finally met some dude named Frank Gordon, right?
Yeah.
So what do the Court of Owls want with Jim specifically?
And we don't really know.
Yeah, we have no idea.
We don't
but
know. They just introduced it briefly. We did have Jerome throw the glass statue on the ground, and it broke. He broke on a fireplace. Nothing really came from that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Cleaned up little plot point that I guess they're not wanting to go with.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
I was expecting there to be something inside at least, so that it would lead us to the next step.
Or like a character looks up in another scene, like they're connected to the statue in some way or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it seemed like it would serve more of a purpose, but
No.
maybe later. I don't know.
Yeah, was that the same? That was the artifact that Selena and Bruce recovered from the Court of Owls, right?
Yeah, the one with
Yeah.
the
The one with the map inside?
Yeah, like when the sun hits it, the map shows up, but I guess it won't anymore.
Yeah. Maybe there's like another statue, or there's a physical map they're gonna find that connects it. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah. We'll have to find out when it comes back.
I did think it was interesting though, like just to clue the audience in that obviously this dude was connected to Jim, right? And I definitely thought it was the dad at first.
Yeah.
When he was like, the GCPD's gonna take care of it, don't worry. And she's like, you have a lot of faith in him. And I was like, Jim isn't even the top person of the GCPD. Like, how did you know that you were talking about Jim?
I'm excited to see James Remar, because going back to Ryan thinking that I quite enjoyed the bloodiness of the episode. He is from Dexter, and he was one of my favorite characters.
He
so
teaches
it's
Dexter
really...
to kill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now he's gonna maybe teach Jim not to kill so much. I don't know. That's what could happen.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so he's Jim's uncle, and he's told by the Court of Owls, Catherine, like, you have to convince Jim to join the Court of Owls,
Right.
or you know what's gonna happen.
Dum, dum, dum.
What do we think that is?
I don't know. Something bad, like he'll have to kill Jim,
Right.
I guess. I mean, that's probably the threat.
Fire him.
Fire.
Just like make him a hobo.
Turn it into a Dexter. You never know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it could be anything at this point. And they're also planning on using Chloe and Bruce. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm totally at a loss. Like, so far, that's one thing that I do want to see Gotham do, is connect Bruce more to the people of Gotham.
Yes.
Like he said to say Gotham, Wayne Enterprises is what keeps Gotham running.
Yeah.
Like that's where all of the money or whatever comes from.
Sure.
And that's why he's so powerful. That's why he is the face of Gotham.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to see how that works out.
Right.
How
It's a
people
lot of
interact.
hearsay so far.
Yeah, exactly.
We do need to see that on screen, I think.
And
That's
I
a good
think
point.
that's probably where the plot line with Clone Bruce is going to go, because he
Yes.
can mess up that dynamic. We just need to see that dynamic blossom first. Final, very large plot though that we need.
Yeah.
We must go in depth with, is Nygma versus Penguin. Final showdown. It's been building for the last couple episodes. Nygma finally shows his face.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I missed him, didn't you?
I missed him so much.
It was 2 full episodes where we just kind of saw glimpses or heard his voice a lot, and now we see him on camera, and he's back and better than ever, I felt like.
Yeah, was that entrance grand enough for you guys?
Oh, yeah. I loved his one of his first lines of the episode when he shoots 2 guys in the head and
yes.
says, are there any more with you? And then he shoots them, and he goes, I just want to know if I needed to reload. I thought that was a badass line for old Nygma.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't expecting him to be so cold when he came back,
Yeah.
But because usually, like Penguin said, he's sort of like crime of passion type guy.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah,
time
yeah.
it's like he had really taken his time to plan this out because of his feelings, like because he does care about
He
Penguin.
did some riddling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? He's doing a lot of
It's
riddling,
like, I
setting
think
up traps.
I will full-time be into this for more reasons than just
Sure.
like acts of passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he. Did you guys think at first that Barbara and Babs, etc., that they really had broken off with Nygma? Because last episode, Barbara had promised Babs that they would kill Nygma.
Yes.
And in this episode, when she was trying to get Penguin to give up Nygma's location, I was momentarily believing that she was really planning on killing Nygma then.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And then Nygma stepped out of the shadows like,
Yeah.
haha, we were in this together.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So what do you guys think about Nygma was so convinced that Penguin didn't really love him because he only cares about himself.
Right.
And then Penguin proves him wrong in this episode because he's willing to die in order to save Nygma.
Yes.
And yet Nygma's reaction to that was not, I don't know, not exactly what I expected. What did you guys think?
I kind of felt the same way. I love how emo the relationship is. There was there's a moment towards the end where he said, like, say you're not giving up on me, and I'm like, this is literally the lyrics to that song, like, say something, I'm giving up on you, and I was like, oh man, this is really this is like a CW show in this scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it had been a little bit more of a CW show. Like, I just want Nygma to admit that he cares about Penguin too.
I would have loved him to just like kiss his forehead before
Yeah,
he fell into the harbor, right?
Oh my god, that would have been amazing.
Been great.
No, because I just, at this point, I feel so bad for Penguin. Like, when he killed Isabella, I was like, okay, well, that's it, Penguin.
Yeah.
Obviously, you suck, and you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
really love Nygma. We're done.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now I'm like, no, he does love him. Just show him a little affection before you murder his ass.
So we get a shot in the gut,
Yep.
Yeah.
and a kind of like a stumble back, and then fall underwater, and then we see him kind of drift off. Do you guys think he's gone for good? Probably not.
Yeah.
No.
I would say not.
Nope.
Probably one of the
There's
best
no way
parts.
he can be gone.
He does good in
Best
chilly
part of the
water.
show.
He's cool.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that Robin Lord Taylor's been filming since then, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, you're not going to kill Penguin before he's really Penguin.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
He'll come back more penguin-y.
Yeah, there you go. And now he's going to waddle a little more.
Yeah.
No, but for real, my only problem with it is that it could have been so effective. And it was effective. It was an
Yeah.
emotional scene. Just
Yeah.
that we've already seen something very similar to it in
Yeah.
like season 1, I think, when
Right.
when Fish almost killed him, or on behalf of Fish, whatever happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, obviously he's going to come back because he has to. But but it's less. It loses a little bit of oomph.
Yeah, especially now that we're gonna have to wait so long. A lot of people are kind of mad in the chat about that. Slim413 says, "Why the f is Gotham already going on break? Spring, WTF? Yo, they just came back." I agree
feel
with
the
you.
same.
I
I agree with you, yeah.
Like, why would you have a month break and then 3 episodes and then 2 months?
I know it's like
Yeah.
it seems unnecessary, but
Right.
it must be for some reason. But this is we got what we talked about earlier, two and a half months.
Yeah, 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
And I think it's
off.
the same for Lucifer too. Like Lucifer did
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So at first I thought it was like a production holdup with Gotham, but
Yeah.
obviously that's not the case. They
That's
just-
like a summer vacation as a kid.
Yeah.
Like summer vacation off of Gotham, and then we're back
I'm
again.
gonna forget what happened, guys. Jeez, I have to do a rewatch of all
know.
the season.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Lily says there's Super Bowl and basketball stuff during February and March. March Madness, maybe.
Lily's
you
so
know.
smart.
Oscars
Lily knows
and
what's
all
up.
Lily
this
is smart,
stuff,
yeah.
It should just be put it on the web, like make it a web series for
Yeah.
now. Everyone watches online anyway. It's
Yeah.
fine. I have to say, because you guys know I love Tabitha, so I've always got to bring her up.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute seeing Tabitha and Butch sort of like bickering back and forth
Yeah.
during the scene where they've got like Penguin all tied up. And then he's like, "Why do you have to undermine me?" Because he's telling, like, he said like he could do it in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like he could make Penguin give up Nygma's information.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "I could do it in less." And he's like, "Why are you always like that?" I
Oh,
really
he's into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
right? He is. He likes being bossed around by all the ladies. I just wish that we got to see a little bit more of their dynamic and their relationship, but that's okay. I'll take what I can get.
Slim did say, "Hey, Penguin, can you still swim with a bullet in the head?" Even though the bullet didn't go in his
No.
head.
Yeah, it
But
wasn't in his head.
I think he could swim with a gut bullet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I was going to say unfortunately, but obviously I don't want Penguin to die.
Right.
However, I do think that maybe that was Nygma's way of giving him a chance. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like when, I don't know if you guys watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but in season 1, when Ward like pushes Fitz and Simmons like that out,
Yeah.
and later he's like, "Oh, I knew you guys could figure it out. Like, I didn't think you would really die. And this
Yeah.
is like my way of like sort of killing you, but not really." So I think that that's sort of what,
He might have a bigger game.
yeah.
Yeah. I have an extended universe question. Do you think Penguin will kind of do a Batman Returns at some point and have like black blood or like not regular
Right,
human? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been
that
thrown in
could
hot water.
the transformation more into being
Yeah.
a penguin happen during this next break?
I think that, I think it would make sense
Yeah.
to sort of explain why he's not dead yet.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. But no, like what you guys are saying that or Nygma's becoming more Riddler because
Yeah.
like that whole elaborate situation of how he was going to kill Penguin in the first place.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it was a riddle, but I just still feel like he doesn't really want to kill him because that was like way too like there was way too many plot holes in that. Like, of course he's gonna come out of that alive.
Yeah. James Mirror Domains says Penguin will still be alive because of the mythos with Batman. So
Yeah.
he's going with the classic
We have to. We
lore.
have to get to that.
He's not going to be gone for
Yeah.
too long.
Oh, you're right. That would suck to not really have Bruce face off with Penguin. They've had like a couple moments.
He'll
Yeah.
come back. His hair just might be, going the other direction.
Yeah. Lily says Penguins are the best swimmers in the bird kingdom. Penguin will live. Lily, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I like that.
Yeah,
It's a good metaphor because that's what he is. That is what he is. Speaking of Riddler, though, did you guys see that promo for next week?
We
for,
did.
Not
We
next
just
week.
watched it
for
right-
2.5 months from now.
We somehow missed it right when we were
Yeah.
watching the end of the
Yeah.
episode, so we pulled it up right before we went live, and oh my god,
Yeah.
We were freaking out.
so excited.
So good.
We had the question mark. We had
yes.
a green
The
suit.
suit.
Yeah, that's the best part. Like seeing the classic. Like at first you
Yeah.
just see like the little poster, I think, of like the question mark and the green suit, and you're
Sure.
like, okay, well that's nice that we're getting a callback. But then you actually see him wearing it.
Yeah.
You actually see that question mark on the like logo.
Yeah.
I'm so glad because I think that these comic book shows are always better like the further they lean into
Yes.
the origin.
Definitely.
You know,
I'm
you
with
really you don't have to do it like a one-to-one
Or like shot
exact
by shot sort
transference.
of thing. But like if
Yeah.
you lean into it and don't get lost in the mythology necessarily and do the exact same thing, but like pay respect to it
Yes.
and create something unique, like how they've been with Jerome.
Yes.
It'd be
like they
amazing.
haven't said
Yeah.
Joker, but you see the Joker card.
Yep.
You've got that smile going on. Like
Yeah.
it's perfect.
And a lot of people in the chat are super excited just about seeing like the green. Just seeing
Yes.
green, I think, is just one of those things where you're like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah, and
know?
it's been a while. I think like in season 1, it went too far. Like he did everything in riddles, and I was like, why is this happening? But now,
Yeah.
now it's like just getting him back into that headspace. I think because
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
think it took like Isabella dying
Yeah.
in this way to really bring that side of him out again. We haven't seen it in a while. Yeah. And going with the full circle, like killing Miss Kringle is what first sent him off the deep end, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like Isabella is what's taking us there again, but in a more calculated, a less crime of passion-y way.
Yeah, no, I think he's just now really into killing.
Yeah,
And is embracing it full on. He's gonna
Yeah.
get his like big platform. We might start seeing a lot of stuff connected with him and Arkham and the riddles and deaths being like popping up around the city and having like the interconnectedness of what he's known for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try and straighten this out for Lily. Lily says, I am confused on the Nygma Babs Tabs plot. Did Babs Tab really mean to double cross Ed, or was that all part of the larger trap for Penguin?
That was part of the trap for Penguin in the moment.
Yes.
But Barbara had promised Tabitha that once Penguin was dead, then they would turn on Nygma.
Right. Yar Har said larger part, but maybe afterwards they really will try and kill him.
Yarhar and I are on the same wavelength.
Are you Yar
like
Har?
that.
Are you chatting? on that?
That was me.
Is that
was
what's
me, guys.
happening?
Yeah. We did have a question from Alma Diaz on
Yes.
Twitter. Alma D48. She said, "Do you guys think that Bruce is becoming more and more Batman-like?" And we did sort of talk about that, but like,
Yes.
was there a moment that really stood out to you as Batman?
Well, I think first showing, seeing evil in himself. You know,
Yes.
like
Yes.
seeing the what he's become in a reflection. I think is a classic comic book thing. But
In the Hall of Mirrors.
in the Hall of
Yeah.
Mirrors, seeing that and then going like, I can't do this, I think was a really
Yeah,
strong
that
moment.
sequence. Yeah, that sequence was excellent.
Sure.
I like
Yeah.
from the moment that like Bruce stepped out of the Hall of Mirrors and you saw like all the Bruces. I was like, this is so good. I love fun
Proud
houses.
of you.
They're
So
amazing.
proud.
Yeah. yeah. There was a really clever plan on Bruce's part.
Yeah.
And then like seeing him look up, seeing him with the clown makeup. You know, it's like
Yeah.
finally. What Jerome did had a purpose, right?
This is a good question tagging on to that from Slim41 He says, could we get Bruce being a vigilante in the vein of Oliver Queen, starting off as the Hood and then the Arrow and then the Green Arrow?
Oh.
So do you think we'll have like a makeshift
Yeah.
Batman? I'm
Like
sure we
first
will.
he's-
I
Yeah,
think
Not just
so.
gonna go right into
I mean,
it,
with that
yeah.
conversation he was having with Alfred, honestly, he's going in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't
Like,
think he's
let's come up
immediately going
with
to
a
come up with the
thing,
name
yeah.
Batman because bats haven't really factored in.
Sure.
You know, we've got to get a little bit more batty.
We need more bats.
Yeah.
I am all for more bats.
Yeah.
We need more bats. It needs
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah. Another question from Twitter is, the people trying to look like Jerome reminded me of Batman Beyond the anime when some people call themselves the Jokers with a Z.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And not just that, but right now in the Rebirth comic of Batman Beyond, they are doing the Jokers with a Z trying to resurrect the Joker.
Yeah.
Spoilers, it does not actually turn out to be the Joker. So in a little bit of a way,
Yeah.
it was Dwight putting on the face.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when he did that, I was like,
Dwight the mortician.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Dwight the mortician.
you are missed. You are missed, Dwight. Anyway, guys.
You tried. Gold star.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for chatting with us. If you have any questions over the break, use the hashtag GothamIS, and don't forget to join our Facebook groups.
Yeah.
That are run by Lance Ospresser, who's an amazing dude. There's like thousands upon thousands of followers of these groups on Facebook. There's Supergirl, there's Flash, all those other DC
There's
videos.
a specific Gotham after
There is
show group that
Gotham
you can
discussing
jump
the
in.
TV show.
And
Yeah,
we can
if you
just be in there hanging out until the show comes back
Yep.
because we're just going to be like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Why are we waiting this
Share
long?
theories,
Support group.
share
Love it.
memes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a live chat like you guys are doing on YouTube,
But
but
on
it goes
Facebook.
on until we come back in April.
Right. 24/7 talking about Gotham.
Yeah.
Join us.
Join us.
Good night, guys.
Bye. See you in April.
Thanks a lot.